Okay, so this is the November 18th, 2020 meeting of the Southwick Agricultural Commission. We have a quorum. The meeting is being recorded, and we'll be taking roll call votes. And it is 7:02, and the meeting is called to order.
Bert, do you want to just announce who is, what commissioners are here so we have that on
Right.
audio?
So, commissioners here are myself, Bert Hansen, Dennis Clark, Dan Cook, Ron Cicchini, Marisa Cook-Obregon, Tammy Sayak Bissalon, and Zach Barnett. Everyone. And Secretary Jean Nilsson.
Can't forget about her.
That's right.
She won't let you.
That's why I'm a good secretary.
That's why we love you.
That's right. Secretaries have a lot of power.
Okay.
She knows that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we have any members of the public here. Jean, any mail or communications that we need to think about?
No, the only thing we had was the budget. And there was a invoice that Marisa issued for IBS in the amount of $77.58 for bolts and nuts and stuff to put up the signs. So that I issued a purchase order for that.
Thank you, Dean.
Okay.
Gene, we did get that letter from the ladies on Mort Vining Road, but it's on the agenda for later anyway. So if you want to
Right.
just hold off till later on, we can address it then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, we heard from them. That's good. Well, maybe. Okay. Anything for the agenda? Dennis and I were kind of working on the agenda at the same time, more or less. And so we have two new business items in different parts of the agenda. But we can take those up both at the same time under new business.
Well, I'm sorry, Bert, but can you start with the minutes? We're like 4 months behind.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah. So yeah, that was my next. I think that's next on the agenda is the minutes. Yeah. And we do have 4 sets of minutes. Has everyone had a chance to read them, I hope? Yeah.
Yes, my name is spelt wrong in the October minutes under the farm brochure section. It's an L instead of an I.
October?
Yeah, under the farm brochure section.
Did I do that on purpose, Tammy?
Maybe, but this time I caught it. Last time I didn't catch it, so.
Yeah, it says Clark Bissayon.
Ah, there you go. Okay, I'll change that.
No worries.
And actually, and back in the July minutes, same thing on the first page with a motion to accept the minutes. Tammy seconded, and she's there as Clark.
Yeah, I think that's an auto spell type thing.
Yeah, it probably is.
It's happened my whole life, so don't worry about it.
Couldn't be me.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And a couple other just little typo type things. Okay, where are we here? On the September 16th minutes,
Okay.
on the second page near the top under the APR signs, the last sentence, Vice Chairman Marisa Cook-Obregon.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I somehow got muted there. Anyway, second page, top under APR signs. Marisa Cook-Obregon will order 10 signs. I think it should be which will be sent at no charge.
Oh, look at the dog.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, Gene, change the attendance, add the dog.
What do you want me to name her?
Also put Brett entered the room also.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
Brett.
Yep. Hi, Brett.
Hello, I'm here.
Hey, Brett.
Hello, Marissa. Hi, Bert.
Hi.
Hi, Brett.
Gene.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
And Gene, a little bit down that same page, land preservation properties. About halfway through that section, Commissioner Clark will again contact Mr. Fellman to gauge his interest. I think we're missing a U there. Engage.
Bert, you're not supposed to read them that detailed, okay?
I was gonna say,
Glance at them.
Copy editor. Copy.
Uh,
you asked
Okay.
me to read this stuff, I read it. And then just on the October minutes.
October?
Yep.
Okay,
Did
Been
you take a
doing
vote on
really-
those?
What'd you say, Dennis?
Are you going to take a vote on them individually, the minutes?
I
Or
think
all
we
at
could
once?
vote as a group, couldn't we?
What do you think,
As long as
Gene? Is that okay?
you have, if you make a motion that you have to name all the minutes you're motioning for,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
And the October minutes, actually, I noticed that I had the meeting starting at 4:30. So that's a correction.
Well, maybe we did. Didn't we have a 4:30 meeting one time? I
At
think
one
we did.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
Did, but not in October.
Over.
No,
Oh.
no, no. Okay, I'm sorry, Bert. Was there another correction in October?
Just a couple of things. You were doing really well with Bert, Hansen, but you had a little bit of a relapse here.
SEN?
Sen, so in the attendance.
Yep. Oh,
the
it's
min-
all over the
In
place.
the minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
You sure you don't want to change your name, Bert, so I don't have to correct
It's
these?
easier.
And then at the end, when we're motioning to
Yep.
adjourn, same thing.
Yep, I got that.
Two other quick things, actually on that same page, the last page of October. We already fixed Tammy's name, and then under the Kellogg section, Agriculture Commission priorities, I think that might need to be spelled differently.
Actually, the word was purview.
Oh, purview. Oh, okay. Well then, all right then.
Okay,
And then under the community garden, it was actually Commissioner Cecchini who volunteered to do the tilling.
they both begin with C.
I know, and they're always both there, but
Okay, I'll change that.
Okay, that's it for my stuff. So, do we have a motion to accept the minutes of, hang on, July 15th, August 19th, September 16th, and October 14th, 2020, as amended? Actually, why don't I just make that a motion? I'll make that motion.
Okay, how do you want me to spell your name this time, Bert?
How about Henson, like Jim Henson?
Okay,
So do we have a second?
I'll second.
Good.
okay.
I didn't think it was going to be controversial. Okay, all in favor. Let's see, we have to do a roll call. So Bert Hansen says yes. Dennis Clark,
Aye.
Dan Cook.
Oh, he's on mute.
He's
He's on mute, but I could read his lips. He said aye. Ron Cecchini. Yep, okay, same thing.
Echo.
Marisa Cook Obregon.
Yeah, I. Yeah.
Tammy Siak Bisalan,
Aye.
and Zach Barnett,
Aye.
and Brett Colson.
Aye.
Okay. see. So new business. We have the Mildred Smith and the Tannery Road invasive watercress.
Everything and brought it to the police department.
So I had a call from Mildred Smith again this morning.
Yep.
And she's on Tannery Road. She lives across the street from Dan Cook. And she's been calling all summer because she's had this, she considers it a problem. It's an invasive species. It's in Kellogg Brook, and it is clogging the brook up. And I did some research into it, but not a whole lot.
Is it in my brook?
I think it's in your brook, Dan, because she said it was in Lambella's brook also. He's been saying she's been sending it down to him. My suggestion would be, because it's listed in USDA, it's listed as a potential invasive species. But what we need to do is identify it first and make sure it's the yellow, what's it called? Hold on a second. Here it is. I'm going to share the screen for a minute. As soon as I figure it out. Share screen. Okay, I think it's this plant here. Great yellow cress
Okay.
amphibia. I think that's what it is, but we need to get a biologist or somebody that can identify it for sure to make sure that we're looking at the correct species before we can figure out what we need to do to deal with it if it is a problem. And I would like to get back to the USDA and ask them, for some assistance.
Okay.
Bert, do you have the knowledge to be able to identify that, or do you know somebody that has the?
I don't really. And I think it might be tricky at this time of year also,
Yeah, I think it's still there.
Okay.
Hopefully Dan could confirm it, whether he sees it in his brook. And we could find somebody to come out, or we take a specimen of it and show it to somebody that has the knowledge to be able to truly identify it. Is they went out and they hand pulled it, which is, I don't see a problem with that. She's looking for a chemical treatment, that's very difficult and tricky to be able to. It's a cold water fishery brook, and we don't want to introduce anything to that brook that's going to, without having the absolute best knowledge on that. So,
Yeah, is there some other way? I mean, can it be dug out of there?
well, they've been hand pulling it. I don't know. They probably would like to get a tractor or something to pull it out with. I'm not sure. Like I say, if we can talk to some people that have more expertise in it and ask them what they would recommend as far as trying to clear it and how to prevent it from spreading.
Yeah. I wonder if, well, you know people at USDA, right, Dennis?
We have some connections there, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, as a potential backup, maybe at UMass. The extension.
Maybe it's Scott Jackson. Maybe I'll drop him a line and see what. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get in touch with Scott Jackson, asking if he has something up at UMass that can help us out.
Yeah. Okay.
Dan, I know we lost you for a minute there.
Yeah. Can you see us? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you can come on my property. Anybody can come on my property to check it out. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I also got a connection at the USDA on invasive species.
Oh, there you go. You're the man.
I'm having that done on my property. I got a grant to do that.
Oh,
Wow, wow.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm into the second year of it. It just came in and took care of it.
Mhm.
My forester and the USDA. The girl at the USDA is pretty good. I can ask her about it.
Yes, please. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Now, is it the same kind of situation at your place, Ron? Is it or a different plant or what?
Well, yeah, it is. It's Japanese
bittersweet.
something or other. I don't know.
Bittersweet.
I don't know
Japanese
what the hell they
bittersweet.
are, but I'm into the second year of it.
Plus the mountain laurel too, right?
No, that has nothing to do with
Oh,
it.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Brings up the first camera.
But, yeah, it was a $10,000 grant.
Wow.
Okay,
Good to know.
But I'll call her and ask her about it,
Fantastic.
okay?
excellent, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hang on one second.
I will I'll call tomorrow and let her know that we discussed it and we're working on it. So
Okay.
Something seems to catch his attention.
Can you email me exactly what it is you're looking at?
The next few
I'll send you some pictures of what we think it is. We're not 100% sure, but we're pretty sure that we know what it is.
Yeah, I did get some pictures. I didn't,
Yeah.
pay much attention to
the
it.
suspect comes out and he shoots Kyle once.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, Dan or Ron, can you go over and take some pictures of this particular plant? Or,
I don't know what it is. That's why I'm saying anybody
Okay.
can come on my
Well, no.
property.
They had pictures of it on today.
Oh, all right.
Agreed,
Okay.
because it was just funny to me that.
But like it's, I don't know.
We'll go check it out.
Are-
Yeah.
You see the pictures, Dan?
Oh,
yeah.
damn it.
Wow.
But you know what? This
seen
time
that
of the
before.
year, am I gonna see that?
It's really pretty, but it's too bad.
It is kind of good.
You know what I mean, Dennis?
Yeah, we thought maybe we could harvest it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's that good for eating. I don't think it's as good. It's not like the regular watercress. It says you can eat it, but I don't think it's high up on the list. But yeah, it's probably like you say, this time of year it might be difficult to identify, but if you could at least talk to them, Ron, and ask him if he's had any experience, if you could help us out, be very much
Okay.
appreciated.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
They were just here
That's great.
last week.
That's great, Ron. Thank you. Our other new business item is actually Tammy's wanted to talk about the seed library.
This was.
And there's some information, you got some information from the public library, right, Tammy?
Yep, from Lynn Blair, who's the Southwick Library Director. She's, if you guys remember, a year ago or so now, she was thinking of putting a seed library together, and then of course COVID happened, so that put everything on hold. But now she's just in the thought process right now, and just wanted to know our thoughts on it. Number one, should they buy seeds? I think they should, because I think growing season's over, and I don't know who has saved seeds, and this year being this year, I wouldn't want those passed around and just part of public property, I guess. And then going forward, just how many seeds should they put in a packet? The idea is that people who don't already have their own seeds or have purchased their own seeds, they could go to the library and say, I'd like to grow my own squash or whatever. And they would, check out the envelope, and it'd be theirs to keep. And then at the end of the growing season, if they had a good crop, and they could return seeds for somebody to use for the next
Oh.
year.
Okay. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, and there's a big
good.
she and I were supposed to attend a program with the UMass seed library or seed director there, library director there, but then of course that never was able to happen. So,
Yeah,
but I could reach out to them to find more information for her on it. And she just wanted to know basically our thoughts. And then when it does get up and running, who knows if we would like to be part of like a kickoff event for it, which again, who knows when that would be at this time, but she's just in the, planning process and
yeah. I don't know how everybody else feels. I love that idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then she asked if there were any other groups that are, either garden clubs. The only thing I could think of would be like the Master Gardeners. I know they focus more on flowers, but I think, if you're going to do a seed library, it should have a part of everything.
Yeah. Well, there's several garden clubs. Agawam has a garden club, and I don't know if we want to keep it specifically to Southwick. Maybe we do, at least to start. There was one of the community gardeners this season, and I can't think of their name off the top of my head, but they had 2 plots, and they did a lot with sprouting their own seeds.
Oh, they're the ones that were in front of the plot I had, right?
Yeah, near you. Yeah.
Yeah, they, because I spent a lot of time doing ours this summer, they planted what they had started and then I never saw them again. And I saw weeds overgrow their plot really quick.
Yep.
And then a lot of their squash plants died, I think, because of the drought and the squash bugs and.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe they're not a good. Anyway, I can email the community gardeners and see
Okay.
what they feel about it. They want to. We didn't have too much luck connecting with the 4-H. So not sure.
Yeah, I think this year a lot of, again, because of COVID, I think a lot of people kind of put things on hold or didn't get as involved as they usually do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's an awesome idea. I mean, I'm tempted to say, should we have Blair come to a meeting, or are we not quite that far?
I'll reach out to her maybe
Yeah.
in like maybe not December, but maybe next year when she might have more thoughts together and kind of a little bit more in the planning process. But I'll keep in touch with her too about it. And
Okay.
yeah, I can ask
That's
her.
Yeah, great. That's good. I mean, we're agriculture, obviously. I don't know if we want to connect with conservation on this. If Marisa, people on Conservation Commission, or anybody, gardeners and,
Gosh, I don't know. Dennis, Jean, can you think of anybody that does gardening? I mean, no one's coming to mind right now, but could ask them at the next meeting and see if they know of anything. I mean, could just be something that someone on conservation knows about or is interested in. So, but I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that might do that.
We can put it on the next agenda to find out.
Yeah, might as well just ask at least.
Sure.
I'll put it on the conservation agenda for December 7th.
Okay.
December 7th, yep.
Okay, good. Well, that's great, Tammy. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
following up, pursuing that. Okay, stuff that's underway, the right to farm signs. Marisa, and the APR signs. I know you're been moving along on those.
Yeah, so for the right to farm signs, those are still in production. That takes a little bit because they need to interface with DOT and kind of make sure all the measurements are right. So that's in the works, but that's plugging along just fine. I spoke with them earlier this week, and I guess they need to take measurements of how much white space is between each character or or symbol or anything.
Really?
I guess DOT is very strict on that, and it seems like it's going to be fine. It's just a matter of the sign maker measuring what that, you know, the space between the letters and the space in the border, what's white, what's, I had no idea, but that's the way it works. So that's underway. And then for the right, that's the right to farm signs. For the APR signs, I started distributing those a couple of weeks ago. So I've distributed a few, and that's why I went to IBS, because it seemed easier. If we're going to give the farmers 2 signs to put up on a single, you know, post, we might as well provide the post and the hardware as well. So I've distributed that to 4 farms now. Jean actually took some to give to Kevin. I dropped them off this weekend. So that will be going up there, hopefully. Also Coward Farms took some. Lanita took a set as well for Blossoming Acres. Oh, and Diana also took a set. So I still have 2 more pairs. If anybody knows of anybody who has APR property and wants those, let me know, because they can take the signs, they can take the posts as well as the hardware. The posts that I got, it's not as pretty as I would have liked. I think the wood is a little bit more rustic and appropriate for a farm, but you know, it is a little bit more work, and I know farmers don't have extra time to be you know, twiddling around with signs. So I just bought metal signs or metal posts that are easy to just slam into the ground. Obviously, if somebody wants to put up wood, that's okay, but we'll give them the metal posts. So those would come included as well. So if you guys know anybody, let me know. They're at my house. I can drop them off or give them to you, or whatever's easiest.
Right. Yeah, good. Thank you. And the farm brochure, I think, actually, I was supposed to be writing an introduction, sort of mission statement. And Jean actually started it for me.
Right. Yeah, and it sounded good.
Yeah, but I haven't finished that up yet. So
That's fine. I'm going to share my screen right now to show just a little bit that I've done so far. I've never done this before, so oh my god, desktop 1. Is that what I saved? Desktop 1, share, open.
It's down at the bottom, share screen. It's a green thing with an arrow. Can you see it down?
Yeah. Oh, it says I need to go into my system preferences, and that I have to quit Zoom in order to change my preferences and restart it.
Can you
Can
email
I
it to,
send it? Yeah, can I send it to somebody?
email
right
it to Dennis?
now? Okay.
hold it up in front of your camera.
I know, right? It's like I queued it up just for this. Okay, let's see. Sorry about this. I've never shared anything, but I should probably change that setting on my computer. Where are you? Yeah, there you are. Okay. Sent. All right, Dennis. I have to wait a minute because it's kind of a big file, but it says it was sent.
Oh.
In the meantime, I can show you guys what I based the layout on, so that when you see the one that I've made on the screen, it actually makes sense. Because, you know, when you have to design these things, you have to kind of put the pages next to each other, and it looks weird because it's not folded up. So you're like, why the heck is the bio on the first page? So like I said, I basically ripped off, maybe ripped off is too strong of a word. The Granby Agricultural Commission's brochure. Oh my gosh, how does this work? Okay, maybe this is too complex. I should make it easier. Oh, okay.
Here we
There
go.
it is.
There it is. Okay. So I'll still hold this up if you want to look at it. So it's like a 14-inch by 8.5-inch piece of paper, which I found out is pretty standard in terms of printing for panel brochures. So you can see here, like the Southwick, these are all stock photos, by the way, too. So I'm hoping that, we can get some high res photos, because I do need high res photos for this. So Dennis, if you don't mind scrolling back to the first page, please. Yeah. So that would be effectively like the first page there, the one with the cow. The one to the right or to the left of it would be the back page. And then in the middle here, or to the left side, the orange stuff, that's where we can include some information. As you can see, I didn't put anything in really, just kind of some text to just hold that over. And then Dennis, if you would kindly scroll down to the second page, please. Right, so this map here is a map I created of Southwick. And it's kind of based off of this idea here, if you can see the Granby one. So the Granby one has a layout of Granby and then numbers across the map. And then the numbers correspond to the farms. Granby also included art studios, farms, and other kind of ag-related businesses. So I'm thinking that for the 4 middle pages of this brochure, 2 of them can be the map and 2 of them can be kind of a list of the farms. So does this so far seem like it's readable to you guys, or?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have some real photos of real farmers farming if you need any.
In Southwick?
Oh, yeah.
Are they high res?
Yeah, I'll send them over to you in a minute.
Okay. I was wondering if we could put one of Kevin's cows on the front, just because I feel like it's really nice to have a farm animal on the front.
Yeah, or I could get a picture of a cow for you tomorrow too.
Yeah, as long as it's a Southwick cow, it's got to
It's
be.
a Southwick cow.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
It lives on Will Palmer Road. Yeah,
All right, sure.
many
Yeah,
of them.
Is anybody going to know if it's not a Southwick cow?
I don't know. I mean, I think we have some people in town who are very aware of our farm animals, so you'd be surprised. So yeah, I mean, I've just put in the stock photo of tobacco. I'm not sure that you guys want to keep it there. It's not like people go and visit tobacco farms, but I mean, I grew up working tobacco, so I feel like it should have a place in the farm brochure about Southwick, even if it
Totally.
just shows our history. And I could probably put more photos on this page too on the bottom to kind of show off, but I'm going to need at least, I want to say like 5 or 6 high res photos. So we'll definitely get one of a cow at least. And then I don't know what else we want to put on there. Do you have any photos of haying, Brett?
Absolutely.
Okay, that would be good. And I don't know what other photos do you guys think would be appropriate for this?
Maybe horses. We have a couple of equestrian places in the brochure, right?
I could get
Right.
those too.
Right. Yeah. So that was another question I had. Because the old brochure that I have that Jean gave me, it has ag-related businesses as well, apart from farms. So like Kleinview Stables are on there, the Strain family. Are we including those on there too, even though they're not like, farms?
I think we said we would.
Okay.
Are we, didn't the old one, and I don't have it in front of me, didn't the old one also have some Granville farms or ag
Right.
businesses?
Right. Yeah. Do we include Granville? Because that's not on the map that I made, but I
think
can
we
include it.
said we all said that we would include Granville.
We would.
I thought we said that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind maybe just putting a mention of the Granville ones, maybe not on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Granville have an agricultural commission, or do we kind of like cover them too? What's the deal with that?
Good question.
They have a really good town website that lists all of that, so we can
Oh.
easily find out.
Gotcha. Another thing that I wanted to ask about for this brochure, on the first page here, I mentioned on the title page, a guide to Southwick's farms, natural attractions and hiking trails, because I figured that's kind of what these Granby folks did. Do we want to include that, or do we, because then I can just throw those on top of the map too. Like the lakes I can include on there, Granville Gorge, North Pond. Do we want to include that on there, or do we want to make this strictly farming? I mean, that might be a Conservation Commission question. I don't know if because Conservation Commission kind of takes care of those properties, right? I don't know.
I think it's a good idea to kind of be expansive, if that's the right word, if there's room, if we have room for it.
Yeah, I mean, just be throwing it on the map. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
Anybody else have a thought?
I think Dennis is speaking, but maybe he's on
Oh.
mute.
All right. I was just going to say that, we probably should stick to agriculture, because where do you draw the line afterwards? It starts going to recreation, and then, it's hard to draw a line unless we keep it to agriculture. I think that's, our main thing here.
Yeah.
Makes
Is if you want
sense.
to include Granville, in some of the places, as long as it's agriculture, I think it's fine. But, once we start branching out, then where do you stop?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, pretty soon you got the motocross in there.
Right.
and-
Yeah. Right. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess maybe at some point it would be nice to make a hiking one for Southwick, because I feel like we don't market that enough
Yeah.
about our natural, like a lot of people don't know about North Pond, but maybe that would be a whole nother.
It'd be a Conservation Commission project we should do. But actually, we are doing that online. That's part of
Right.
the webpage that we have.
Right. But my idea with this is to hopefully once the world opens up again, we can stick this at local businesses. I mean, I got this at a farm in Granby that I visited, and I've used it. So it'd be nice to include it in, Blossoming Acres, distribute it around town so that people can just grab it. Or that Red Riding Hood place. There's a lot of out of towners that go there, and it might be nice for them to know, hey, you can buy agricultural products from Southwick if you're in town. So
And maybe too, when this is ready to go, we could pick up on your idea, Tammy, about featuring a farm on Facebook once a week or whatever, whatever time period.
Yeah, that was really nice, Tammy. I saw that you were doing on Facebook, and that I got a lot of good replies on it. It was really
Yeah,
nice.
I'm gonna do Cowards. They're gonna be selling Christmas trees, right? So I'm gonna be doing post Thanksgiving. I know a lot of them already have their stuff out, but I just figured I'd just start after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, please. People don't want to wait till Thanksgiving. They're already
Yeah.
going full steam ahead with Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Tammy, they're opening up on Saturday.
Okay.
I know
Perfect.
because I have to work there.
Ah.
really, are you chopping trees this year, Gene?
No, not quite. But my sister owns the place.
Oh, okay.
So I'm what you call free labor.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, driving around, I've been seeing Christmas trees in people's windows, inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those aren't
people need
real.
something to look forward to, though. That's why they're doing it so early this year, because it's been a rough year.
That's right. That's right.
Oh gosh.
Sorry for the tangent, but in last Sunday's paper, there was a flyer from Home Depot, and they had their, artificial trees. And there was one of them, I don't know what the heck it was made out of, it was $600.
Whoa!
Oh,
Gosh.
So it had maybe gold tips on the branches or something, I don't know.
wow.
Anyway, I'm not sure. The census of farms, I have once again not really made any progress on that. So what can I say? Community garden, there has been some updates, and thank you, Ron, for tilling last weekend. We got everything all, the gardeners responded really well when I emailed them to get their stuff out of there, most of it. Try to get some of the larger stones out of the way.
It
And,
was
Paul-
much better this year. It was much
Oh, good.
better this year.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Thank you, Ron, for that. And Dan, his able-bodied assistant there. Very good. Oh, and Dennis, this makes me think, you gave me the those wildflower seeds some time ago.
The pollinator mix, yeah.
Yeah. We probably can't do much with that now.
Not great
I'm
out.
guessing. But yeah, so I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be just for the pollinator section or for the whole, like a ground cover kind of thing. But anyway, it's a little bit too late.
But we can use it for whatever we think it's best to use it for. There's a lot of seed there, I know.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to give some of it out, I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem either.
Okay. Okay. See, what else was I gonna say? Anything else there? No, I think we're all set with the community garden, so that's good. Of course, we've had more rain in the past 6 weeks than we had all summer, but you know. Whatever. Okay, so our conservation and farm properties, I think Dennis, did you add this about the potential APR properties, and is that?
Yeah,
list
that's something that I'd like to get to work on. I know Marissa's been thinking about a couple properties, and it looks like we don't have anything right now in the wings after the, I don't know if you want to skip over to Moore Vining Road, talk
Yeah,
about
well,
that.
I'm very curious what's going on there.
We received a letter, the town received a letter from an attorney saying that they want to sell the entire property and they want to take it out of 61A.
That's too bad.
So Marissa did, I guess you did talk to them, right, Marissa?
Yeah, I reached out to Rita again when I got that email last Wednesday, just being like, what's going on? And she finally replied because she hadn't replied to my previous emails and texts. And she just replied and said, I'm sorry, the timing's not right. Thank you for all the information, but yeah, we're just gonna have to move ahead because that timeline of 2 years is too much for us. So, I mean, I just thanked her and said, you know, I understand. I don't know what their situation is, but yeah, they're moving ahead with that, I guess. So
I mean, we
it's a real
tried,
shame, though. I'm really disappointed.
we tried, and I don't think there's any other opportunities available, especially in such a short time span that we would have to put it together for. APR was really,
Yeah.
I think, the only way to go. So I think the
Yeah.
Board of Select Board is going to be looking for sign off from the Agricultural Commission and other boards that no interest in it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Marissa. I know you put a lot of time and effort into trying.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Well, yeah, no, we all
But
kind of.
don't give up. There's other properties that we can, move up on the list. If you have other properties that, interested in APR, let's move them up on the list. And
Yeah. Well, on that note, if I don't know where we are in the agenda, but related to APR, possible APR properties down the pipeline, Jean was kind enough to print out some information about APR for me a few weeks ago. And I was able to actually sit down with the Prifty family. And I just kind of reviewed a lot of that information, the basics of APR. It's not something immediate right now. Luckily, they have no plans to develop it. It's more just kind of a long-term planning thing for their kids in the future. So that would be encouraging, the fact that they're thinking about it and seem at least curious about it. But they have all that material. So who knows, maybe we'll be able to connect with them over that in the future. So.
Well, that's good.
And I think they have, I don't know, I think it's 20 something, 30 something acres. that might be eligible, so that would be great. And that's right across from your farm, Jean, right across from your mom's. So that would be nice to be able to preserve that corner of Klein and 57 there, because that's still very pretty and farm land. So
Oh, that's, yeah, okay. Great. I wonder, now, is there anything, just back on the 38 Mort Vining, I mean, is there any kind of a hint of a possibility of like an early acquisition by Kestrel or one of those? Or is that too?
I think the only way that would work would be if we managed to get somebody lined up to purchase the farm from Kestrel. Kestrel would have to get a loan, which would mean some liability for them. And they would only do that if they know that they can hand off. They can be the intermediary for the purposes of the sale and whatnot to kind of, help things move along. But they would look to unload the property as soon as possible. So we'd have to have somebody lined up ready to pay Kestrel and take over the property. So that's how I understand it, at least when I spoke to them a few months ago. Is that right, Dennis?
That's correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
And unfortunately,
And I tried to see if Mr. Wally would be interested in it, but he's been land acquisitioning on College Highway has been his goal for some reason. Unfortunately, because I would love to be able to get him to work with us on that, and I understand that the person who's buying it is planning on putting in a subdivision there. That's of course. But what was it, $850,000? I think the purchase and sale was
I
for.
think so. Yep.
That's a big-
800.
Or
800. It's a big chunk of change too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was.
Yeah, 800.
I had a call. I had an email from a realtor about the Kellogg property, wanting to know about the restrictions on it and everything. And I was just about ready to give up on it today. And I had a call from Mark Noonan. He was wondering if we would want the Kestrel Land Trust to get involved with that. And I told him, absolutely, if there's anything they could do to preserve any of that property, we would, conservation would at least do whatever we could to help them out. It's a long shot, but Mark likes long shots, so this would be a real challenge for him.
And is he the guy from Kestrel?
He's the guy who was from Winding River Land Trust, which a Kestrel Land Trust took over. So
Okay.
he's not the head guy there, but he's kind of in charge of our area. So he's going to approach the person who is in charge of the Kestrel and ask them if they would be willing to get involved.
Is this Mark Wamsley?
No, Mark Noonan.
Mark Noonan. Okay, gotcha. Okay. There's a few marks there then. Okay.
Yeah. There's a couple of Marks there. Mark Karras also.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, it's not totally dead in the water. I was just about ready to give up on it, and let's take it as far as we can before we totally give up.
Yeah. Yep.
They say there's not much farm property out there. There's one little chunk of farmland, but most of it's just the habitat, or not just habitat, but really fine habitat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dennis, can I ask you, I don't know if this is more of an ag question or conservation or a little bit of both, but on South Loomis Street, there's, as soon as you cross into Granby, and I know it's a different state, Granby's might as well be a different country when it comes to kind of conservation. There's a lot of properties on South Loomis that are, I guess, managed by the Conservation Commission or their land trust in Granby, as well as the Nature Conservancy. How do you kind of do that with a bigger organization? Do we have anything like that in Southwick with the Nature Conservancy for land preserves?
We've talked to them a couple of times, but we've never done any projects with them. Yeah, I was just driving out in that area. I see there's some beautiful conservation lands right across the border.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are small fields, just a few acres, but they're preserved and it's nice.
Yeah.
And they just opened up a hiking trail right over the border on old farmland.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day.
Beautiful. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can get back involved with the Nature Conservancy and see what kind of projects they've got going on,
Yeah.
kind of grants are available.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, all we can do is keep trying, you know, and I did leave the 58 and 64 Tannery Road on the agenda. When Ron was tilling the garden, Dan and I were talking a little bit, and I guess they're not interested really in preservation, but then Dan, you said something about they have to go through a wetlands process, and I think maybe Dennis, you know, I'm just curious what that means.
You got to unmute yourself, Dan. I have to keep muting you because there's a TV or something in the background that keeps coming through. I did talk to, when I talked to Mildred today, Mildred Smith, who was the neighbor, and she knows Lumbella really well. So I asked, you know, I said, you know, we were talking about trying to preserve the property. And she said, the father, Mr. Lumbella, is a cranky old man and he's hard to deal with, but he only owns 7 acres. His 2 sons have got the rest of the property. They divided it up. So it's not the father anymore. It's the 2 sons. And I'm not sure. She's assuming they both decided to sell it because there's a for sale sign out there.
Right.
Dan, can you unmute yourself?
You hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, expert. What did you ask me again now?
If you've been dealing with the sons, because the old man is, he's given the property to his 2 sons.
No,
Yeah.
right. Well, that's the guy I dealt with, and I was lying to him because I told him I was a commissioner. But that's the only guy I dealt with, and he doesn't give a he
No,
doesn't care.
yeah, one of the sons, not the old man, but one of the sons. Is that who you're talking with?
No, I think it was the old man.
Well, the old man doesn't own the property anymore. It's his sons that own the property. According to Mildred, she's been living there for 95 years or so. So, well, she's 95 years old. She's been living there for maybe 80 years. But
Oh, so he's passed away?
she said he's still a grumpy old man. So I don't know if he's still talking.
It was an older man.
Okay.
But the father, she said the father gave the 2 sons the property. There was 100 acres originally. He kept 7 acres with the house, and the rest of it got split amongst the 2 sons. So I don't know if you've been talking to them. Maybe you can find out who actually owns the properties, and if you talk to them nicely, then you are agricultural commissioner. So tell them that there's money in it for them. They might be able to sell the property twice. They can get the money, and then they can sell it as a farm.
And I have land behind my house for the rest of my life.
There you go.
Awesome.
Too. It's good thing. Win-win.
That'd be a nice fringe benefit, but be also nice if we could preserve that area.
No, right. It's triple win. No, I
It is,
get it. I you know what? I will look into that because I would love to keep it like that.
Now it's on the wish list that we put out when the select board asked, what properties the agricultural commission would like to see preserved that are in chapter 61A. I believe that's in 61A, so they're going to have to go through the right of first refusal. And now's the time to try to line something up before it gets to that point. Because by the time that they try to take it out, they've got to purchase and sale on it. It'd be pretty much too late to try to preserve it. So if you give it another shot, you can look up and see, who the actual owners are, and maybe talk to the sons and see if they've got any. because Jocelyn, when she lived there, said that one of the sons told her he was very much interested in preserving it. I'm not sure if they both agree on it or if that's still true, but still worth pursuing, I think.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Thank you.
And I feel like I should know this, but are those records online? I mean, can
Oh,
yeah.
Jan or anybody go online and see who owns what
Oh,
property?
yeah.
Yeah,
You can just go to the online mapping, and when you click on the property, it'll bring up the property card and have all the information on it.
Okay,
That's probably the easiest way to do it.
sure. Rather than trying to break into town hall, you mean?
Good luck with that.
I can get it on the GIS mapping system and then email it over to you tomorrow if you want that.
Even better.
you could also
Yes.
try to find the record of deeds online. That is online too.
Mhm. Yeah, you can look up the book and page number at the Registry of Deeds. I can do that too.
Find out who.
By any chance, Dennis, do you know if those guys live on the street?
We could find that out too. That's all in the
Well,
records.
no, I didn't know if you knew.
No, I just, it might be in your best interest to go and chit chat with Mildred a little bit. She's kind of lonely anyway, but she gets up early in the morning and she's a good neighbor. So you might want to talk to her about it, see what she knows.
Okay. Sounds like a nice gal, Mildred.
Oh yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's got all her senses. At her age, she's doing
Good.
really well.
Wow. Good for her.
What happened to Jean?
Oh,
We lose Gene?
uh-oh.
That's okay. It's all being recorded anyway, so
Yeah.
she can go back and watch the recording.
And I think we're pretty much through the agenda. Anybody else has any other comments, questions, anything for the?
I have
for
a
the order?
question, just because I wasn't here, I missed the meeting and then I saw it in the minutes. What happened? Why did the Feldman farm back out of asking for help?
Mr. Feldman
They were
left
gonna
me a
put it in a
message.
pond or something?
Mr. Feldman left me a message on the answering machine, said, please take me off the agenda. I have no interest in a farm conservation plan or going through the NRCS. So, and I said, unless somebody knows him and can talk to him, maybe he's one of these farmers that don't trust the government. There's a lot of them out there. You
Yeah,
can't blame
maybe.
them.
Right.
If somebody wanted to approach him and say, not only will they do a plan for you, they might even pay for some of this. They've been known to do that. The Ron will tell you they pay for his invasive management, and they might pay for him to have a farm pond, but he didn't want to talk to me about it, and he said take him off the agenda. So that's what happened.
I mean, I know Lanita got a grant to help. They got
Tear
plans
down.
in work for there too.
Yeah. Well, if you know him, if you can.
I
talk to him.
don't know him. I was just wondering because I thought he had reached out asking for help about the pond, and I was just curious.
I asked Lanita if when I saw Lanita, I asked her if she would talk to him, because I think she knows him. So there's Gene, just in time to close the meeting.
Yeah. I just discovered that you have to plug computers in for their batteries to. Oops.
You're just
Sorry
in
about
time.
that.
Bert's looking for a motion to end the meeting.
Okay.
Well, I'll make the motion. Does somebody want a second?
I'll second. Tammy seconds.
Okay. And let's
Just
see.
to test your typing skills, Gene. You have to type both our names correctly.
Hey, happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay, you need a roll call vote. in order
You
to
do the roll
close.
call. So Bert Hanson says aye. Dennis Clark.
Aye.
Well, Tammy, maybe I should have said you second, but Tammy,
Aye.
Marissa,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Ron,
Aye.
Zach,
Aye, aye.
Aye, aye. And Brett, how about Brett?
Aye.